It is believed that, even the patriarchal culture believed that man is superior. Why? Because man possesses the phallus. Woman is inferior. Woman is a lack because she is a negative entity. She does not have phallus. This Spanish envy in women leads women to sense of anxiety and lacking. Sigmund Freud, one of the leading psychoanalytical critics, discussed or reflected woman as inferior, weak, and passive. He also expressed woman as a sex object to man. Another leading psychoanalytical critic is Jacques Lacan, who said that phallus is the key source of power in language, and the phallus is connected with man, so the source of power in language is connected with man, not with the woman. So woman is deprived with the language and psyche. Jacques Lacan also gave us the mirror stage. This is very important to understand. The mirror stage means when a man or a woman, the child, when he or she sees in the mirror stage, they were always in the pre-lapsarian or in the pre-linguistic stage. But when this child enters into the linguistic stage, they try to identify whether I am a boy or I am a girl. What Lacan said that women always remain in the mirror stage. That means they are always in the pre-lapsarian stage or in the pre-linguistic stage. So women does not have right. Even women cannot enter to the linguistic area. So women were always deprived of the language, and this is the psyche of leading psychoanalytical critics Sigmund Freud and Jacques Lacan. Slide please. Now what gynocritics do? Gynocritics accept the biological difference, but they demand female creativity be validated, because biological difference is natural. The biological difference in man and woman is natural, but it doesn't mean that woman's writing is inferior to man's writing. So what gynocritics demand? Gynocritics demand women creativity be validated. Women's creativity is not inferior, but women's creativity is as equal to man. So gynocritics gave emphasis to women's creativity. This is very interesting. Gynocritics refuse the penis as the pen. What patriarchal culture believed, or male critics believed, that those who have penis has a pen, those who have penis has a power. But gynocritics refuse the idea that those who have penis has a pen. That is wrong. All have right to use pen, and all can write equally superior. During 1970s, new psychology developed, and it was developed by the Stone Center at USA of the Wellesley Center for Women. This new psychology gave importance to caregiving, empathy, affiliation, nurturing, collective vision of social life. Now look at these characteristics: caregiving, empathy, affiliation, nurturing, collective identity. All these are the qualities we can find in female. So these are the special characteristics which we can see in the woman's personality. So these qualities of women are very helpful for the creativity of female writers. One more thing that gynocritics emphasized is mother-daughter relationship. Mother-daughter relationship is very important because through this relationship, women can get sympathy, warmth, sense of security, and with the help of each other, they can enrich their experiences, and so they can enrich their writing also. In the same way, the idea of sisterhood is also very important, because the female bonding create the feelings of sympathy, warmth and security. So mother-daughter relationship and the idea of sisterhood are extremely enriching and fulfilling for gynocentrism. The last model of difference is women's writing and women's culture. Here, how woman is subjugated in a man-made culture is important. If we think about culture, all the other three aspects or the other three pillars of gynocentrism, that is biological, linguistic and cultural, all the three models are included directly or indirectly in the cultural aspect or cultural model of gynocentrism, because all the three, biological, linguistic and psychoanalytical, are connected with culture. So the cultural aspect of gynocentrism is very important. Slide please. Now the cultural aspect of gynocentrism gives importance to gender differentiation. Now what is gender differentiation? Gender differentiation means difference between man and woman, difference between male child and female child. In the patriarchal society, patriarchal culture treats woman child differently, male child differently, but it doesn't so. Gynocritics refuse this idea of gender differentiation, and they insisted that gender differentiation is the hindrance in the development of female. The second is the subordination of women. The patriarchal culture tried to marginalize, tried to subjugate, tried to suppress women in the man-made culture. So, gynocritics also reject the idea of subordination of women and insisted that all the women should have equal opportunities, because women are as equal to men. So both the ideas, gender of differentiation and subordinate position of women, are rejected by gynocritics, and they favored women should be visible, women should be treated fairly enough in the patriarchal culture. Now this is the graph. This graph is created by Edwin Ardener, an American anthropologist. Now look at this graph. The X is the dominant group. We can call it the general culture. The X is the dominant group, the general culture. Now here the blank one is the X group. Now this X group is the general culture. Now what is the meaning of general culture? General culture means both men and women are included in this X group. The second one is the muted group. It means the women's culture. Now look at the graph. In the graph, this Y is muted group or the women's culture. Now the Y is the special area of women. On the contrary, X is the combination of both the dominant culture as well as the muted culture. So what we can find out, woman's writing is a double voiced discourse. If we think about the general culture, it is included, both the man and women are included, while in the Y, that is muted group, there is some spatial area. Look at this area. There is some spatial area. That area is totally untouchable by men. So these are the spatial area of women's experiences where men cannot reach or men cannot touch. So in this way, women's writing is a double voiced discourse. That means women's writing is both a part of the dominant group as well as it is a part of the muted group. So in this way we can call it a double voiced discourse. So creativity is a mirror through which the gender of the writer is reflected. This is the core, I think I can call it the essence of gynocentrism. When we write something, when a woman writer writes or when a male writer writes, the creativity is a mirror. When if a man writer writes, his own point of view is reflected in the writing. When a woman writer writes, her own point of view is reflected in the writing. So the creativity or the creative writing is a mirror through which the gender of the writer is reflected. And this is the end.